Hi, this is Olivia.
And this is Robyn, and you're listening to K-Pop Hot Sheet. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at K-Pop Hot Sheet and rate us on Apple Music and Spotify if you enjoy the show.
Welcome to the show. I don't think it's been a minute this time. I feel like we always say it's been a minute. I think we've had a show recently, so we're doing better. But I have missed talking to you, Robyn.
Same.
How you been?
I've been good. Yeah, for those of you who actually have followed and you know that Olivia and I used to work together, we work at different places now. So technically no longer coworkers, but always my work wife in my heart.
Always together. Exactly. So I think I stumbled upon just this beautiful article, wholesome news, and I just had to share. So I think we have to start the show with it, especially because in America, Thanksgiving is coming up as well. So just thinking of things to be grateful. And Robyn doesn't know what I'm going to talk about, but I am going to share the article with her now so she could see pictures because it was just so cute. So the NYPD teamed up with this K-pop boy band Big Ocean that I feel like I've heard the name, but I didn't know that they are the first hard of hearing act.
Yeah.
Did you know about them?
Yeah, I did.
Aw, I can't believe I haven't heard about them or watched any of their songs. So we gotta check them out. But anyways, they teamed up on Tuesday and they surprised students at St. Joseph's School for the Deaf to empower children living with hearing loss. It's just so sweet. And just some of the quotes from the guys. So Jisok, one of the members, it's a 3-member group, said, "We are so happy to see all of these kids who have the same type of disability we have, and I want them to see our performance and learn how to grow and pursue their dream, whatever they are dreaming now." And then Chanyeon also said, "We don't feel like our hearing disability is a disability or a handicap that's getting in the way of pursuing our dream. It is a characteristic that differentiates us from other people." And this was just, I don't know, I just had a big aw when I saw this, and I just love it so much, and I want to check them out.
This is so sweet. Yeah, I have the article up now. The one little girl noticed Chanyeon had a similar hearing device to hers and jumped up with a bright smile on her face. This is so nice.
This is very wholesome, right? So adorable, and I'm so happy that they did this.
Yeah, I haven't listened to any of their songs, but I did hear about them. I knew they were coming out.
That's just so amazing. K-pop is just, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just going above and beyond, pushing boundaries, right? You have this group, you have the AI Plave group that's doing really, really well and are some of my faves. It's just very inspirational. Like I said, anyone can do it, anyone can follow their dream, right? So it's just go K-pop.
Yay. Oh, I like that we're starting it off on a happy note because, of course, with some of the news stuff later, I think it's me. I think I'm the problem. I always bring the dark side of K-pop and all of the horribleness
I know.
and bad
I'm
things.
here I'm here oh my God, K-pop's doing great big things. And you're like, no, they're not. But okay, well, we'll move on to a few more wholesome good things. Mama happened this week. It started off in LA in the US. It was the first time it was in the US. I wish I could have gone. I feel like if I was younger, had more time, it would have been so much fun to be there and witness that. But now just being older and life goes even the fact that I knew it was coming and then forgot it was happening on Thursday is you know what I mean? So much things happening in your life and you're just oh shit, oh yeah, that happened, mama. But yeah, I think that's really cool that they came over here. But we have a few fun performances. I haven't checked it out yet, and neither has Robyn. We just picked a few that we wanted to see. So there was Katseye that performed. I just wanted to see how they did. I'm a fan of them. BigBang made it back to the stage with just their 3 members, but I'm still very excited, and there's a new song. JYP did a whole ensemble with Anderson .Paak. I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing. Honestly, probably would be good. It'd probably be entertaining. It's 15 minutes.
We can do it.
Of course he has 15 minutes. It's crazy. There's Izna. Am I saying their name wrong? Or is it Itna?
I think it's Izna. I don't know. They're the girl group that was formed out of Island 2. So Olivia didn't watch the show. She's going to be like, what the heck's going on? I'm excited. I'm going to be singing the songs.
Okay. Well, I'm curious when you said I'm going to be like, what the heck is going on? And finally, we have Plave, who is that AI group who like doesn't perform. I mean, they perform live, but like they're never there physically. So I think it's very interesting. They recently had their own like concert as well, which I would be so interested if they came to go watch them because it's like a whole different experience. Like you're basically just watching a screen, but I don't know. Robin's like, no, I would so drag you if they came here.
Oh my
You're
God.
coming with me.
I would be like, what is happening?
No, you are coming with me. All right, so shall we get started with Katseye?
Yes.
All right.
But you've been so hard to touch, thought about you way too much. All the love you thinking us. 'Cause you've been so hard to touch, you could have my love. But you've been so hard to touch, thought about you way too much. Baby, when I messed it up. 'Cause you've been so hard to touch, you could have my love. But you've been so hard to touch.
So that was cute.
That was very cute. I was so impressed. And the dance break was like amazing, insane with the splits. Like they were so on point, like very organized, choreographed. And the LA Rams in the back did so well, the cheerleaders.
Yeah, I really liked actually having the LA Rams cheerleaders do the kind of the intro thing, and they did cute stuff with the pom-poms and spelled out Katseye, and then they were essentially being like a huge group of backup dancers at the end of Touch. And I was really into it, as much as I kind of throw shade at Katseye sometimes. But also the girl that I have the biggest beef with, Manon, was not there.
Yeah, I was just reading about it before, like when I was looking for the performance video, and it said she wasn't there because she like she had illness or something, she was sick. But I'm just like, really? Like your big performance at Mama, which is one of the biggest award shows, like how, like, maybe I'm being mean, because I'm like, how sick are you, that you couldn't just fucking take some Tylenol, let's go, girl, get on stage.
But truthfully, though, like leading up to that, I feel like you should be taking care of yourself, taking precautions, like wear a mask around, like do whatever you need to do because Mama's a big deal, like. Yeah. I don't know. And also that puts the other girls in a bad spot because I'm sure they had to last minute figure out a formation for instead of 6 people being 5, and they crushed it.
Well, you also told me how you didn't like her from the show because you actually watched the show and she was always the one that was like, oh, like being lazy and stuff and like not joining into things.
Yeah, she was like, I didn't come to practice because I was sore and like whatever. So yeah, how sick
it just
are
sounds
you?
like she's a big baby. Exactly. She's just a big baby. She's like, oh, I can't go on stage. It's like, girl, I don't know if she's gonna last.
Yeah, I feel like missing that performance is probably not in her best interest, but whatever.
Yeah,
moving on.
Whatever. The girls did great. Moving on to my kings. VIP. I should go get my little light stick while I watch this. Oh, I didn't realize this is actually a long performance as well because there's a bunch of songs. But I'm excited, so let's go listen to BigBang.
Wait, is this all of? Okay. So it's gonna be G-Dragon, but then the other guys join.
I mean, we could start watching it from Home Sweet Home.
I'll watch G-Dragon. I'm just making sure that my expectations will be met. That the other guys are gonna show up.
Oh yeah, they're gonna show up.
All right.
Okay, let's go watch them. I love that so much. Oh my God. I really, really, really hope they do an album, do a tour, did something like 21, like, and I'm still waiting on 21 to come here. But if Big Bang comes here, oh my God, like that brought back so much. I'm so sad that Top's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll take what I can get. But that was a really strong ending. Like in the beginning, so it started with GD doing Untitled and Power, and we were like kind of weirded out because it didn't seem like he was not really singing or even rapping that much at all. It was like, okay, like we were getting a 5 out of a 10, you know?
Yeah. And Untitled was just like a video.
Yeah, which it was like the beginning
So,
for him
yeah,
to walk, which like whatever.
to get people
yeah.
hype. But yeah, when he was doing Power, it's like he wasn't really rapping or even lip syncing, or
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, but maybe it's because honestly, even in the music video, he doesn't do much.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's like following that or if he was conserving his energy for later, which might have been the case because he brought it later when his boys were on stage with him. I really like Home Sweet Home, which is a new one.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the 3 of them, but I just added it on Spotify, and it was G Dragon featuring Taeyang and Daesung. So it's still GD's song. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. I hope they do stuff together though. I hope they like come out with an album. This would be the time.
Yeah. And I really did like that song. It sounded like classic Big Bang style. They're not trying to do anything, even though technically it's a GD song, quote unquote. Like in my mind, that's Big Bang song.
Oh yeah. It was still. I mean, yeah. All of Big Bang songs are GD, so GD coded. And then they did Bang Bang Bang, which I was like probably bleeding Robyn's ears singing along, and ended with Fantastic Baby. But it was so good. I was so happy to see them. So proud of them.
It was really good. It felt very epic because apparently at Mama, everyone has like a Mama light stick. So even people who didn't have the Big Bang, what is their thing called?
Well, we're VIPs. I don't know what their light stick is called actually. That's
well, anyway,
a little embarrassed. I should know that. Let's see, Big Bang light stick.
Anyone who didn't have one, if they had the Mama one, it was making it the green color, and then like they would do throughout like different like waves where it would change like red and green and all this stuff.
Yeah, that was like beautiful. The yellow wave. It's called a bang bong. So I could have guessed.
Is that yellow? It's not green.
Is it? Yeah. No, it's yellow. It's a yellow crown.
I'm colorblind, motherfucker. I mean, I'm not really, but
I will literally. At the end of the show, I'll turn on my camera. You'll see it.
It is yellow, isn't it? Whatever. Anyway, don't come for me, guys. I thought it was great.
No, it's fine. All right. Speaking of epic performances, I guess we go to JYP now. Let's see how he's gonna wow us. I don't know how to like feel. I think I'm very like neutral. So we'll see. We'll see how he does.
All right.
I don't even know his songs, honestly.
I think I might know all of the songs that he's gonna do.
Oh shit. Okay.
We'll find out.
All right.
All right.
You go first, Robyn. You go first.
Oh, I gotta bring the positivity. I don't hate JYP. He's corny as fuck. He's also like 53 years old. Let's let him have his moment. Like,
he's had a lot of moments, Robyn. Okay, like listen, I don't like hate him. I just don't get him, and I don't get the hype. And like, I definitely see like in that era when he first started, like the music, like I get the hype back then. I think he was like really great then. And I do get that he has done a lot. Like I don't discredit him, what he's done for K-pop and the groups he's brought up. But I just feel always, I'm just like, it is your time to like step away. Like you're not that great anymore. You're just not. Like I don't get it. And it's like, why do you keep trying to like make it seem as if like you're this like living legend and you're like amazing, and it's always from his own words.
Yeah.
It's no one else like giving a speech saying he's amazing.
And when Olivia says make it seem like he's a living legend, there was this whole like lead up before his performance of this video of like JYP is missing the living legend of K-pop. He's done all of these great things. And it was very, I mean, that part was kind of gross. Like I can't imagine sitting in a room with that man planning that video and him like having creative control over that script of like how fucking epic and legendary he is.
Yeah, yeah, that was too much already. I'm just like, but also it's kind of like, it's like, I also expected it. You also kind of have to like surprised but not surprised, you know? It's like, oh yeah, of course you would say this about yourself. Of course you fucking have this skit. And he just feels like, I mean, I'll give it to him because he's on that stage. He's got that stage presence. Like he's on that stage as if he's Beyonce, you know? But like you're not, bro. Like okay, all right. But whatever. You know, he's doing him. He's collecting that money. You know, can't be mad at that.
He also can't hit the high notes anymore. So there was a lot of in the older songs that have high notes. It was very like whispery, like barely could even make it happen. Which like, dude, just don't do that song then. If you can't sing it anymore, that's all well and good and fine. Our voices change as we age, and you should age gracefully and accept it, and maybe not try to sing the song if you're gonna have to whisper, sing, and struggle and like look kind of sad. It's not the vibe. And I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, and I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah. No. Oh my god, I was done. Sorry, I was done like halfway. I was like, I am bored. Like I can't wait for this to be over. But I sat through it. I listened to it. I gave him his views. You know.
We lived to see another performance. So now we're gonna check out Izna. So this is totally.
Well, thank God we didn't end with him.
Yeah, it would have been a sad note. So Izna is my pick because I'm gonna let Olivia make us watch Plave, which I'm sure will be fine. But as I said before, Izna is the girl group that is about to debut that was formed from Island 2. So the first.
Oh, they haven't debuted yet?
No, I think it's any day now though. So I might be misspeaking. But and I was talking to Olivia about this before we started recording. They've been having a lot of drama around like being accused of plagiarism already with their album packaging and their photo cards and all this stuff. So they already have haters and drama and probably a little bit of mismanagement going into their debut. But I love the Island franchise, the first season, as it were, and Hypen came out of. And then when they did the girl season, I was excited to watch it. I watched every episode. So since I already know of these girls and their personalities, I'm excited to see what happens when they debut. So I'm excited to see their mama performance.
Yeah, I'm excited to check them out. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We bout to blow it up and make a scene whenever I'm with you. Big energy. 곧 터질 것만 같아. 너와 나의 time bomb. We are meant to be okay. 'Cause I know what's right in the end. 곧 터질 것만 같아. 너와 나의 time bomb. I'm ready to blow your mind. Can't tell it, the time is now. Ready to blow your mind. 너와 나의 time bomb, time bomb, time bomb.
All right. So we watched Izna. They did a quick little, like literally quick medley of like a few of their songs, I guess, from the show. Robyn was telling me.
Yeah.
It sounded kind of fun, but
It was-
I only got snippets of it, so it was hard to.
It wasn't even a medley necessarily. Like, I don't know. I get it.
It was like,
I get it.
what's faster than a medley?
I-
a snippet, a highlight.
Yeah. I don't know. I was underwhelmed, disappointed.
You seem lost for words.
Well, first off,
Yeah, it was not strong. It was not strong at all.
I kind of wish they'd done some of the songs from the show a little bit. And I get it. Like, you don't want to rehash the past because they're about to debut. So they wanted to do the two new songs. But the two new songs were honestly forgettable, I felt.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
I
basic.
found myself like, yeah, like the first one, especially Izna, was like, like I really wasn't feeling it. Time Bomb started off like nicer. I was like, okay, this is a bit more like a melody to it, like melody to it. It was, I don't know, it just sounded like softer, sweeter, nicer. But again, I was kind of like, okay, nothing was drawing me in. I wasn't hyped.
Yeah. And I even know who all of these girls are. I watch the show, spent hours. You know, their shows take hours and hours of your life away. So I'm pretty disappointed, to be honest. Pretty
Sorry.
bummed.
Again, good thing we didn't end with them because we got Plave next. And I don't think we're going to be disappointed by Plave. I'm counting on them.
All right.
Let's go check them out.
Let's go.
끝이 없는 midnight sunshine 반복되는 highlight Wait for love, wait for your love Wait for love, wait for your love 거짓말이라도 믿을게 영화 같은 스토리의 끝에 같은 시선 속에 맞닿는 우리야 너와 날 닮은 이 순간 끝나지 않을 여행이라 It's beautiful life
My boys did not disappoint me. I love them. What did you think?
I mean, to be honest, the song wasn't really my vibe.
Aw.
It was catchy enough, but I don't know, it's a little down tempo for me. They did Wait for Love. I thought they were saying Wait for Love.
I know.
but
Wait for Love doesn't make sense. Wait makes sense. But yeah, it's Wait for Love.
Okay. Well, it seemed like they sang live the entire song, and Olivia's telling me that they dance live too in their little suits to make the animated people dance, which
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
to
that's
me
what they do.
that seems like they're doing more than a lot of the quote unquote real life.
Exactly.
Groups.
Yeah, they were like dancing around, hopping around. You could totally tell they were live because you could hear like their breath in the microphone with like the other artists. I think there was a mix, right? Some people you could like tell when they were live, but there was definitely like background. Here, the
Mhm.
background wasn't as loud, and you could clearly tell when the background was going versus them singing because it like was like louder and like got that mic sound.
Yeah. And the singing was good.
Yeah, they're really good. I was telling Robbie, I'm so curious what they look like. I wonder if like they look similar-ish to the characters they chose. Obviously, they're not like going to be 100%, but it's like, because it's, okay, it's going to be like controversial comment, right? But it's either like, okay, maybe they're not that good looking, but they have such great voices and like, that's why they're like doing this in the background. Or they're just all about like, I want to have a private life. Like I can still be an idol and have this, but like no one knows who I am on the street, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I'm so curious about how this group was formed and everything, because I wonder if, like, what company are they in? Do they have, like, an agency? Like,
oh yeah, they definitely do. And like they go on like they have their own like award shows and like they go. I just saw yesterday they were on show. I wonder how that happens because it looked like they were sitting next to her, but I don't know if they were sitting next to her in another room or if like she actually got to see their faces.
I mean, I'm sure that people in the industry have to see their faces.
Right? I don't know. So the company's called V-Last, or the label is called V-Last Vlast.
Okay.
But I don't know what company that is. But they're doing great. They had their first anniversary and fan concert earlier this year. Oh no, the first fan concert was in April in South Korea. I don't know. I'm so curious about them. I want to see what else they do. Apparently, their whole like thing is that they come from this planet called Asterum. So they're like,
Of course.
right, they're like these aliens. Because I was watching some of the show when they were talking to Hyeon, and they were sticking with it. Like they were talking about how like, oh, they don't like drink because they don't know what that is. Like they don't have that, but they have these like yogurt drinks that they drink on their V lives or whatever. But they were talking about it, and they're like, oh, but you get very red when you drink it. So it is like alcohol, but like, you know what I mean? It's like from their thing. And then when Hyeon was like, oh, so you came to Earth, and they're like, well, we call it Terra. So they came from Asterum to Terra. instead of
Lord. Okay.
that. Robin's like, I'm done.
Whatever. I mean, whatever.
No,
I don't.
come on. I
I
need you to be as in love as I am.
I don't think I'm gonna.
No, I
Love
need you to. You don't understand.
Animated boys. Send me. How about you send me some songs that are more upbeat?
I'm gonna just
You can-
send you their website, and
Their
you're
website
gonna
is gonna win
spend-
me over.
Yes, you're gonna spend some time getting to know the boys, and there's a bunch of YouTube videos there for you, and you could listen to them.
I feel like you're trying to bring me into a cult or something. Okay.
Maybe I am.
I'll check out the website later.
At least it's not like JYP's cult. Come on.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
I love
All
it.
right. So that was our hot takes on the mama performances. Just have a couple of, per usual, I'm going to bring us down with some of the other news going on in the K-pop world. First, I mean, this is just something crazy that I never really thought about in terms of the environmental impact of K-pop albums and CDs. So as we know, when groups release albums, they release all kinds of different versions. You get different photo cards. So people buy a ton of albums for their favorite groups. But only 8% of South Koreans actually use physical albums to listen to music, which I'm surprised it's even 8%. But that was according to the Korea Creative Content Agency's 2024 white paper on the music industry. So while it's not uncommon for some fans to buy, 10, 12, however many CDs to keep the photos, a lot of them will throw out the actual CDs. And even if they're not like throwing them out at the time, they're eventually going to waste, obviously. And people are using streaming platforms to listen to the music. So while the sort of marketing tactic of having the really cool packaging for the physical albums, all of the photo cards, it's really had an impact in South Korea in terms of the sales of physical albums, which has nearly tripled over 3 years to more than 119 million in 2023,
Wow.
according to the South Korean album sales tracker Circle chart. So that's been a major factor behind a 13% jump in global physical album revenues last year. And that's according to the Global Music Report by industry body IFPI. So essentially, long story short, the amount of plastic used by K-pop agencies has obviously increased, hitting about 800 metric tons in 2022.
Wow.
Which is a 14-fold increase from 2017. So when you think about it, like, it's like this parallel path of the less people are actually listening to physical albums, while at the same time, like, they're being produced even more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy.
Well,
So
think about how much, like, when you have 5-member, 7-member, 9-member groups, and sometimes they'll do like different covers per person, and you might want to collect them all, or maybe collect a few of like your favorites from the group. Or I know sometimes they have like surprise photo cards, right? So like you might buy albums just to get the photo card that you want. I don't know if they still do that. I know they did it with Twice a lot. So that
oh yeah, they still do that.
yeah, so obviously that like contributes to, obviously it's a great marketing tactic, right? Because they're doing it so that you buy these albums, and like, to the people that look at the data and the statistics, they just see album sales. They don't see that one person bought 50, and how that kind of, I think that should be like, make it like irrelevant if one person buys so many. You shouldn't count 50 albums, but whatever. But yeah, it's such a waste. It's such a waste.
Yeah. So it's been actually debated in Korean Parliament in the Environment and Labor Committee meetings, but obviously this practice shows no sign of ending. K-pop agencies instead are trying to emphasize the fact that they use recycled or eco-friendly materials, and they've begun issuing sustainability reports, which I actually am going to make it probably a really lame point in my spare time in my life to go find. I want to go see like the SM Entertainment and the JYP sustainability reports and see what they're putting in there.
Those publicly?
Oh, they should be public.
Nice.
They usually are. So yeah, I'm gonna see what's what, but
The little
it,
investigative reporting. You heard it here
yeah, because
first.
I know that we've talked about the fact that like this is a marketing tactic and yada yada. We've talked about it in other episodes, but I never really connected it to this environmental impact of just like all of the plastic waste and all of these CDs that no one's actually even like. And I do it myself, but I only buy one version
Mm-hmm.
of an album, and I'm very picky. I don't
Well,
buy
but
like it's got
buying
to be
one,
my
that's fine, right? I don't think that's the
yeah,
issue. That's like, okay, back in the day, like if you really want to buy an album, that's fine. But it's the like, honestly, I'm literally just looked behind me, and when Beyonce came out with the new song Cowboy Carter, new album, Jin bought like you could buy merch, right? And they had like these different shirts. So he bought these two different shirts for me, and they came each with a little like different little album, right? It's something crazy, like it's like the old school little disc sets, but they had like different pictures of her. So she did that same thing, right? Like if you wanted to like
yeah,
collect them all, you'd probably have to buy like 10. There was like so many different, styles and stuff. But they're sitting there like covered, like I don't even have a way to play the CD. You know what I mean? Like it's just become kind of like an art piece. I just have her face there. But it's such a
yeah. And
waste.
I actually have a CD player, but have I ever put a K-pop CD in that CD player? Have I put a CD in that CD player in the past 5 years? No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Like, so
There's like
whatever.
no like Spotify now. I mean, I wish like it is nostalgic. It's so nice to think about it. But with Spotify nowadays, I'm not gonna sit there and like pop a CD, take out a CD. Like if I want to play a song from here or a song from there, right? Like you're just gonna go to your Spotify, Apple, whatever, and just play whatever you want. You have playlists. Like there's just no point. And it's not like, as far as I know, it's not that it sounds like that much crisper or anything on a CD. Like
No.
vinyls I've heard, which I'm not like I don't have the ear to know, but I've heard like with vinyls you do get a different sound. Like I can see that. Okay, fine. That's like a niche thing. You want to hear it on a vinyl, cool. But with a CD, it's like why? Why would I go through the trouble of doing that?
Exactly.
So
Well,
they're saying they're doing anything about it, or was it just kind of like, oh, controversy?
I think it's just being talked about by different like advocacy groups and environmental agencies and things, but nothing's happening besides companies being like, hey, we use recycled plastic. Here's our sustainability report that Robin's going to go track down and read like a loser. No,
I'm looking forward to it.
I was going to say, speaking of losers, but I won't be so mean.
I mean, you're so.
Minnie Jen, she won't go away. So I don't even remember what we talked about last, but now she announced her resignation. She's the ex-Adore CEO now. She's not doing her creative director thing. Whatever. I'm gonna skip over that part. She's no longer involved with Hive. She quit. She resigned. She paced out. But now she is filing legal action against executives of B-Lift Lab, who is like the sub agency, I don't know what you call it, underneath Hive that Islet is under.
Yeah.
So she has lodged a criminal complaint targeting B-Lift Lab CEO and several other executives. And in addition to the criminal case, she filed a civil lawsuit seeking 5 billion won, which is about 3.7 million US
It's a
dollars
lot.
in damages. So she is still popping off over here. Like she's going to drag people through so many legal procedures that are probably not completely valid. It is just a mess. I
And we,
I
and
don't.
when this whole mess first started, we definitely made a comment, either me or you, that it's like she is gonna try to leave and bring New Jeans with her. And I think that's what they're trying to do, because even New Jeans is trying to like terminate their contracts now. But it's
Yeah.
so messy. I don't know. And I feel bad for them, and I feel very over it, honestly, too, though, because it's kind of like, okay, by the time you guys figure all this shit out, another year and a half is gonna pass. Then you're gonna try to be set up in a whole new thing, maybe record some new songs. Like, so much time is gonna pass that I just feel like you're not gonna ride that wave anymore. There's gonna be other artists, and like, good for them if they come back and come back stronger and great, but I just don't see it. And I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah,
So,
I don't see it either. I just see them wasting a lot of money on legal fees and just, I don't know. It seems ridiculous. And then I think I mentioned in one of our previous episodes, we talked about Honey's workplace bullying accusation that she made against Hybe, saying the specific instance I feel that she called out in terms of bullying was that another group's manager said, don't talk to her or whatever when they walked
I
by her in the
remember.
hallway. Like, whatever stupid, like, seriously trivial and stupid ass thing
Yeah.
that was. So that was ultimately dismissed, her kind of accusations, claims, whatever she was trying to get out of it, not because it was, frankly, pretty fucking ridiculous, but because idols aren't covered by labor laws. They aren't classified as workers, so they don't get labor rights that like a traditional kind of worker or employee would get in the workplace.
An
So-
example. I mean, you know what? It's like I kind of get it in one end, because if you're trying, it would be good to have an example, right? Because it's like, yeah, they're not in a traditional workplace if you think about it like that. But then, like, are they considered like independent contractors or something, right? Like, and I'm curious how artists in the US or the UK are seen, or do they qualify for labor laws?
Well, in the US, I know that I don't think that musicians are necessarily covered by any sort of labor law because they don't have a union. So, you know how actors have like SAG and all of that stuff?
Yeah.
So, if you're in a union, you're protected more. So, like the movie industry, for instance, like all of the staff that work on that, they all have they're all unionized, right? So, they get covered by different sort of labor protections, but musicians don't have a union even in the US. So I think it's kind of along the same lines that they're not going to be protected by any sort of
Right.
traditional, for lack of a better way to say it, labor laws. So that's interesting. But
She tried.
and she tried.
What was she gonna get out of it though? Like, what were you looking to get out of it? Like, I think more it created bad press for you.
I mean, it probably has to do with them trying to get out of their contract.
Okay.
I don't know. But as part of this, in a statement to Billboard, the government agency that was investigating this said, quote, given the content and nature of the management contract Honey signed, it is difficult to regard her as a worker under the Labor Standards Act, which involves working in a subordinate relationship for wages. So this kind of ties into the next really horrible thing that I'm going to bring up, because it's interesting that they say working in a subordinate relationship for wages, because ultimately at the end of the day, that's how the entire K-pop industry is set up. But the fact that everyone is contracted in certain ways, it almost makes what we know is a societal and like very real hierarchy appear flat, because everyone's contracted in a similar manner. But we know that people definitely have power and control in situations. And there was a horrible article that came out about Made In, which I think you say it as Made In, but they're a group. I think I've seen a couple of their videos have popped up on my YouTube. But one of the girls was the victim of sexual assault from the company CEO while she was underage. I believe that she is 18 or 19 now, but this happened in the past when she was a minor. So in an episode of the JTBC show Scandal Supervisor, they were highlighting how a fifth-generation girl group member was a victim of sexual assault after she asked to leave the group. So the show played an audio statement that was recorded from this current girl group member. I believe that she was at a different place at the time, and her voice was altered to protect her identity. But essentially, and I'll just read the unnamed female idol quote, and I'll preface it with a trigger warning for anybody who doesn't want to hear about uncomfortable sexual assault harassment of a minor. But, quote, I told him that it was my wish to leave the group after the round of activities we were doing. He asked if he granted my wish, would I also grant his wish? He wanted me to be his one-day girlfriend. He asked if he could kiss me, but then he grabbed me and forced me to kiss him. I kept my mouth shut, but he suddenly forced his tongue in and kept kissing me. He also licked my neck and ears. I was so focused on protecting, and it says in parentheses, down here. But he said to move my hands and kept touching me. He asked, can I touch your breasts and can I feel your butt just this one time? I said no, but he kept doing this for 2 hours.
Oh my God.
So horrible. And I'm not really sure what is happening with this now. And there's a lot more to this too. The agency's legal counsel is saying, like, nothing ever happened. It's true that the CEO had hugged her, but this cannot be considered sexual contact. Like, it's all so gross. And then there are some quotes from the members' parents. So one of them is, quote, you've been watching over our children with ulterior motives. Haven't you seen a lot of late night movies with female idol in brackets to protect identities? The CEO stated he only went to the movies with her once, but the parents continued on the offensive. So follow-up quote from the members' parents. If they don't follow your orders, they're put at extreme disadvantages. From our point of view, this isn't a punishment. This is torture for our children. You realize that she's still a minor, right?
Oh my God.
Like, so sorry to bring us back to the dark and horrible side of K-pop that we all know exists. But yeah, I wanted to at least address that news came out
That's
and
sad.
that this is still happening all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because there is young girls are not protected in that industry. And to the parents' point, like, you are put at such a disadvantage if you don't go along with what everybody is telling you to do. And especially when you're quite young, you don't know what's acceptable behavior, what you should be doing or shouldn't.
Right.
And if you're trusting adults, like, it's just messed up.
Yeah. And it's and they're going to this just to like follow their dream of being a K-pop idol, They see all the glitz and glamour and that's all they want. It's just an innocent like dream and aspiration, and yet now they have this traumatic experience with it, and it's just so sad.
Yeah. So sorry. Because that was the last thing. That was the last thing we had to talk about. So now we're leaving on a bummer note.
I mean, there's always yin and yang, I guess, right? There's the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do one of your spinny wheel things.
Oh, do we want to try to bring it back and do one of my spinny wheel things?
Finish it on a good note or something,
Hold on. Let me find that list because you're supposed to pick numbers.
Yes. And
is
you
what it
removed
is.
the ones we've done already.
I mean, I didn't remove them. I don't even know. Oh, no, I wrote them down.
Okay.
All right. Whatever. Pick a number between 1 and 30. I'll tell you if you already picked it. Okay. 22 is most iconic song.
Oh.
That's a tough one.
Okay. Oh, I have two that like just popped into my mind. So
Okay.
BigBang's Haru Haru. I feel like it was such a big moment back then, So I would say it's pretty iconic, and it still comes on, and I'm like, yeah, I can't even say the little. I'm gonna be so off key, so I'm not even gonna try. And then Girls' Generation, Into the New World.
Oh, I was thinking Genie, Girls' Generation.
I feel like Into the New World was more iconic and big than Genie, and you still hear Into the New World now. Genie, not so much.
That leg move choreo though, from Genie. It's pretty iconic.
A lot of Girls' Generation stuff was pretty iconic. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
All
yeah.
of Girls' Generation. That was the first
Pretty
thing that popped
much.
into your mind?
That and obviously because we just watched the Mama performance, Fantastic Baby.
Okay, yeah, Fantastic Baby was pretty big too. So
Oh, what about Sorry Sorry, Super Junior?
it was, but it was like, you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't popping to my head. Like the things that I would say is iconic, like Wonder Girls, would pop into my head. Nobody.
Eh,
No.
I think we have differing iconic views.
Well, we had some similar vibes. We both Big Bang and Girls' Generation.
I mean, because we came up with the same
Yeah, that's true.
generation.
I mean, yeah, I feel like maybe later on people would pick some BTS songs, which I'm sure are iconic too, but like it's like in my head, like that's what came up first.
Yeah.
But okay, see, we ended on a good note. That was a good question.
Yeah. I actually feel better.
We can go on about our days.
Yeah.
Well, as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at K-Pop Hot Sheet and rate us on Apple Music and Spotify if you enjoyed the show. Make sure to turn your notifications on Spotify by clicking the bell icon if you want to be notified of new episodes when they're uploaded. And until next time, we're almost down to the new year.
Yep. We're going to do our final 2 episodes that we need to do. One of them we'll talk about the kind of top songs for us in the year. Always exciting.
Lovely.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.